that's part of our play. But you know, they denied Kobe, and he's the first option with the open guy.
Phil, at the end of the game, you made a substitution that a lot of us wondered. It was an offensive situation, and you put Artest in the game, and he made two huge defensive plays.
Right.
Why'd you put Artest in instead of Shannon Brown?
Because Ron has a tendency to get steals in critical situations, and he certainly did. He made a couple great plays. He also did, I thought, a very good job on Blake tonight, and probably did it better than Lamar.
Fourth quarter looked like it could go either way. Similar to last night's game, you guys made some mistakes. How were you able to overcome all that and win?
I think the momentum that Shannon Brown's shot provided us at the end of the third quarter was kind of an energy boost that we needed. We were kind of lagging. Powell had his head down running tonight, and Lamar looked like he was disconcerted out there, frustrated. And, you know, just kind of picked us up, and that second unit tonight gave us the boost that we had to have. They got back in the game. Of course, they hit a three, you know, and I put the starters back in with about, you know, just under 6 minutes to go. And, you know, that's a perfect time for them to come back and exert their experience on the floor, and they were able to do that.
Even with all the challenges that the team faced earlier in the game, the fact that they were able to overcome that and make a lot of key stops, do you see that as something that they can grow from?
Well, we're hoping it gives us a little spark. We haven't played well. We haven't shot the ball well. You know, I thought some of our decisions were bad tonight. I thought we played with a lack of energy at times. The starters did, but you know, we just kept saying get that game back in order after it got over 10 points, or you know, right in that area. And the second unit went out there and found a way to do it.
I'd asked you a couple days ago about how losing guys at the back end of the rotation can kind of trickle up, I guess, in that sense. How did that impact, you know, losing Derek impact the game tonight?
Well, Lamar had to go out there and play, you know, center spot for us. We had a very small unit with Lamar and Ron out there on the floor playing against, you know, Griffith and Jordan. You know, two very active and large kids that are, you know, we were able to, you know, get the job done. You know, Lamar, you know, had to run some of the things from a, you know, a point center position, you know, out there on the floor. Really, you know, we just kind of stalled all the time, though. You know, everything was stalled. I think our offense was, you know, not fluid, not moving the ball well.
We just talked about the bench play, and obviously you talked about Shannon and all those guys. How important was it what he did, what Blake did, what Boyles did, that third quarter, part of the fourth quarter for you guys?
Well, they got energized the game. They started getting the ball up and down the court, making a run, and we got some stops, which is important. You know, and it changed the energy of the ball game instead of being kind of a stagnant ball game into kind of a high energy game.
Did that provide energy to the starters as well, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, overcoming a 10-point or double-digit deficit is always an issue when you're coming off the bench at the end of the game. You know, you got to dig down, but it's 3 points. It's suddenly, you know, it's a one-possession game, and it's not like you have to go out there and get 4 or 5 stops. And it gave them some hope, and they came through.
When you moved, I think it was late in the third quarter when you put Ron on
Blake,
Grip,
yeah.
Just describe why you did that. I mean, besides Lamar being.
Well, we talked about it before the game started. We talked about it this morning that, you know, Ron might have to go out and play him because he's a guy that can apply body-to-body pressure. That's, you know, one of the things that's his specialty. And if you let this kid move or take a body off him, he could be very powerful and be very quick and active.
Phil, for the final play, I'm sure you assume that they're going to overplay Kobe with 3 seconds left. Is that how it's supposed to be drawn up with the pitch on the weak side, or what was the impetus going into it?
You know, the other option is pow down the gut on that. You know, there's a variety of options. I mean, every player we think has got a role in that kind of a situation. But, you know, most of the time, you know, there's a way to find an open pass in that sequence. And with 3 seconds to go, they had a foul to use. They used it. Kobe made the shot on it. The kid didn't think he fouled him. That was kind of an interesting part of the game. But you know, we had to just run an open type of a situation where we had to catch all game.
Have you been given an indication how serious Derek's injury is?
No, he was. I thought he'd be back and playing. He's just going back in and getting his ankle taped. He'd be right back in the ball game. But he just never found a comfort level again.
Can you think of a game this year where you guys weren't able to turn it so clearly on defense as opposed to with your offense?
No, I struggle to remember something like that.
Is there a certain confidence you have, even when the team's not playing well like tonight, but just all the experience, all the times they've been through this, that they'll make the plays down the stretch to win it?
I believe it. I mean, they've demonstrated their ability to do that. They need to believe in themselves at times too. And I think after the game was over, Fish addressed the team as a point of emphasis that we need to continue to do that. There's only a certain number of guys that are back from a championship, 8 or 9 guys, and we have 5, 6 guys that are brand new on this ball club, and they have to understand that the experience and the way to play together. There's a certain tensile energy that goes between all these players, that connective tissue that makes them react the way they do. And we're not playing with that right now. There's something, we're not really picking each other up in that kind of a way, and he wanted to address that, and I thought it was a good deal.
How can this carry you over on the road?
We'll see. We'll see. I talked to him before the game, and this is the first of 7 road games, and we need to get it right, because we've lost 3 in a row on the road, 4 in a row on the road. Yeah, we need to do that right.
If you look at the stats, Fish doesn't shoot the highest percentage at the rim, but this game, the way he ended it, and I remember that layup he had in Game 3 in Boston, kind of the same situation.
He hit a shot when he came off the bench in the 5-minute mark, when they first got out there, and I thought that was a good sign for him. It was just out of the format of our offense, and everything went well for him. And I thought if he had another opportunity, in fact, there's an opportunity when Kobe went down his open floor, and I thought he was going to set Fish up in the corner in front of the Clipper bench, and he didn't get the chance to get the ball to him. But I thought Fish was ready to make shots.